Hello and welcome to my Demex App videos. In this episode we will go into how you share the app to different users, or actually you share the gate, so the permission to open and close the gate. So when you go into the app, you choose the gate you want to add for, because you obviously can have different users for different gates. So first step, choose the gate. So this is easily done in the dashboard, and then you have the main top three. If it's one of those, you go onto those. If it's not one of those, then you click gates and list one and click it for the one you want to change. So then you will come to the steering view, as we call the home view, and then on the bottom you have different tabs, and the man tab or the female tab, call it whatever you want, the symbol for a person tab, if you like. Click it. You will then see a list of users, which is both users and guests. Those are people that's actually on the gate. They've actually been invited already. You would also see the amount of permissions they have. It will list under, so it says if they are a user or a guest, and next to it, it will say a number. So for example, on admin here, it says 15. So admin has the full rights. For example, on my trial account, it says 14. So I have one less. It will also say, like I said before, if it's a user or a guest. There's another episode describing the difference. Feel free to go in and check it if you're not sure. You will also have a little tab where you can check if there's people that has been invited but maybe not used the invitation. Sometimes this is helpful if someone phones in and said, "Oh, I've not been invited." You can see that they've been invited and what time. You can also see how long the invitation is valid for, because it's not valid forever. Safety reasons, it's valid for 1 week. So if it's not used within 1 week, you cannot use it. You then need to be re-invited. So how do I do? Very simple. On the bottom, new invite, click new invite. You then have the possibility to write the email address. So it's important that you use a correct email address, because this will send you an invitation to this email address. It should also be the same invitation or same email address you use for logging in. If you don't use the same, it won't allow you, because in the email you will get the instruction how to do with a personal code. And that code is connected to that email address. So you have to use the email address being sent to. And you can't share the invitations. It's for one person only, or one user only. After entering the email address of the user, you then get the possibility to choose if it's a guest or if it's a user. A guest is a guest, less permissions, and also it's time restricted. So it's you get the option later to set when it's going to be ended. That function is not existing on the user. The user is always active. So you choose a guest or a user. You then see what permissions they will get as default. In this state, before you've sent it, you can still remove some of the permissions. For example, if you don't want the user to be able to add schedules or invite others, no problem. The default is that they can, but you can just untoggle these different settings or these different permissions and then send. The same applies for the guest. So if you want the guest to have all permissions, but you want them to be restricted, so they should only be able to do this until the end of April, that's fine. But typically you wouldn't want a guest to have all permissions, because then they would normally be a user. So I will just quickly show you how to delete the user or a guest which has been using their invitation and therefore are an existing user. You then go to your gate, and from the main menu you then click on the user button, which is looking like a man or a woman, and then you see the users. You simply pull to the side on the actual user, and you then get the red delete button. And if you want to delete, press delete. Okay, so that's all for what you do with the users and the guests, how you invite them, and don't miss our next episode. Thank you.